could start. We could start. Give an intro.
Okay, here we go.
What? This
It's the
isn't
movie
Grease.
Propcast.
This
It's the movie
isn't-
Propcast.
So now
It's
we're a quartet, or what's a quartet with only two people?
a duotet.
Duo, or duet?
Duet. That's probably
Yeah,
it.
it's
Wait,
probably.
I was just joking, and then I said it, and I was like, no, that's actually really close. It's a
Yeah,
duet. No, it's
yeah.
2023 now, and we don't have a budget for intro music anymore. So that's the intro music. So yeah, we
Where
lost
did
the
our
rights to
budget
our
go?
music. Actually, if they're listening to this right now, they've already heard the music. So I've lied. I'm a liar. But
Nothing changed in 2023. Good, got it.
yes, this is it. We're back, and it's the movie Propcast, and it's the same two that you've always listened to and loved so much that you decided to come back again. And you clicked Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which means you're a cool person and we like you. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you can when I'm listening to a movie podcast, and I know you're the same. You listen to some as well.
Yeah,
You skip some, right? I mean, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not messing with that movie.
yeah.
But they didn't skip this one, all right? They listening to this right now, which means
There's a very good reason for that.
is that because this is a cinematic masterpiece?
Okay, so you say that in jest, but
No, I'm not. I'm actually no, I'm serious.
Like you say that in jest, I'm gonna get on my high horse for a second.
Yeah.
The techniques that Edgar Wright used in this movie, if you break them down and look at them isolated, his use of transitions, his use of like if you look at behind the scenes on how they made things happen, this movie is genuinely like masterpiece might be too high of a thing, but like when you want to learn about editing a movie and making things flow, this
Yeah.
movie is so technically sound it's disgusting for what it's
Yes.
supposed to be.
It's I think I know where you're going on, and I totally agree with you. And it's 100%. I think when I was reading up on it. It's used in film classes as an example to look at and be like, this is something unique and different, and they're obviously it's a cult classic now. But when it first came out, this film nobody was watching this movie.
I remember sitting and watching this movie and thinking this might be the best comic book made movie rendition I've ever seen.
As
I'm
far as like
also
a
a
graphic
loser.
novel to film,
Yes.
I tend to agree. This is like it's
Yeah.
it's super fun. It's still got the vibe of a graphic novel, and I don't know. I guess there's a B in there somewhere. But no, I feel the same way. I think that's what's captivating about this movie is that you can sit down and watch it and like that's my wife is not super into this movie, but I think it's because it spits in the face of every other cookie cutter film, right? Where it's
Yes.
like, this is it. You're doing this, and then a little diversity, and then you're out. This literally it does stuff to your eyes. I don't know, maybe that's
Yes.
it, but it's like there's a lot going on, but it does it in a way that just makes it feel more special. I don't know. But again,
Yes.
I didn't see this in theaters, and neither did a lot of other people because it flopped in the box office. It was a box office flop. They didn't even make their money back in the box office worldwide.
Which is insane because every 5 years I get like Scott Pilgrim back. Like I always get Scott Pilgrim anniversary stuff on Facebook. I always get it on Twitter. They've redone like the Steelbook for this like 3 times. Like people love this movie now, and it's actually kind of crazy.
No, it's on Netflix right now too. I don't know when you're listening to this, but if you're listening to it immediately, it is on Netflix. I know they go through their catalog and throw a lot of stuff out a lot. So if it's not on there now, I'm sorry that you listened to this too late. It's 100% your fault. But I love this movie, and I obviously I have a wall of movies behind me. It's in there. I mean, it's I'm happy that it's in there. I own the digital copy too, which I
Ooh.
haven't touched the physical in a while. I feel bad, but no, I do. I love this movie. I picked it up, and it's just. I don't even know if I saw it before I bought it. I think it was like one of
Mhm.
those movies that I got and I was like, I think it looks good. Like I want to try it out, but I never wound up seeing it in theaters, which is weird. I don't even remember it being in theaters. That's what.
What? I think I still have the movie ticket for when I should have grabbed that. I think I still have the movie ticket from when I saw this movie in theaters.
This is one of those ones that like needed to be by word of mouth, and I just don't think
Mhm.
it got the word of mouth. Like I don't really remember the promotions for it. When you look at the cast, it's absurd that this movie flopped. It flopped in the box office. Granted,
Yes.
it's early in a lot of their careers that we'll go down that list in a second, but still, like it aged so well, and I think that the cult classic might even be because of the cast and
Yeah,
how they've developed and come and wound up having like very successful careers outside of
there's
this.
an Oscar winner in the cast. It's
Yeah, and
insane.
there's a freaking superhero in there, a couple of
A
them,
couple. I was gonna say that was gonna
a
be.
lot of them.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say we have. I was gonna ask you to name them off without looking. We have no less than 7 superheroes in this movie.
Wait,
6 or 7.
7? I
I'm
can only
not
think
saying
of
the
3.
actors. I'm not saying the actors. I'm saying like characters because some people played multiple superheroes. So superhero
Oh no,
wise,
you're right. You're right. You're
there's
right.
like 6. But before like talking about how much we love this movie, I don't have much bad to say about it. Like most people would say like, "Oh, the graphic novel is better than the movie," which in this case it was, but that doesn't mean this was a bad movie. My only gripe is that they took the time because Scott Pilgrim versus the World, well, Scott Pilgrim the franchise, because versus the World is just the name of one of the books. The franchise is like a 6 book series, 6 or 7 book series. If they had taken the time to flush out the stories,
Yeah, no,
and
that's it.
make this like 3-ish movies, I would have loved that. It would
Yeah,
have been there's just so much they didn't get to miss. They still did a great job with this movie, but
right.
getting some of those background details would have been so good.
They flopped hard at the box office. They were never seeing a second movie.
Well, the way they crammed everything in this, they couldn't have anyway.
Yeah. Okay,
So
that's fair. Well, I
it
mean, I mean
so
that's. I guess we're then in that case, good job because if they would have left a
yeah,
lot of stuff out, a lot of people would have been like, "Damn, there was something there,
because
and now it's not."
in the books they do like 1x per book, maybe 2x's in some books. So if they had done like a movie where it was like 2x is one movie, 2x is one movie, then like the last three in the last movie, I
Yeah.
would have loved that. That would have been great.
I still think. I mean, for a 2-hour movie, it does kind of the pacing's obviously it picks up a lot, and but it also is
Yes.
done in a creative way where it's like a transition. You don't even know how much time just passed, right? Like it's like things are happening,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, I don't even know what year it is anymore. But people's but it's whatever. It works though. It just the way that it is done on screen. It's not choppy. It's not bad. It's not Justice League.
Yes.
Sorry, that was a shot. I'm just saying it's
That
not.
was
You know
a
what I mean?
hard shot. You didn't
I.
even like veil that. That was just straight
It's not
Justice League
Justice
bad.
League.
Yeah.
No, but that's it. Like if you feel like you have a lot of information and a lot of stuff you need to cram into your movie, first off, great job. You picked something good that you have a lot of resources and can put it in. And they didn't omit anything. They wound up actually tying everything together. And yeah, it does kind of feel a little rushed at the end, but I feel like I said, visually it's okay. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah.
Everything kind of
Yeah.
works out. I do have a question, and if we're talking gripes, I don't want to gripe about this movie because, like I said, I've defended it against my wife forever.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, she loves this movie. As much as she tells me and complains whenever I bring it on or it pops on, she's like, "Oh God, this movie." I think she secretly loves it because it's just one of those movies where you're like, I'll look over my shoulder and I'll be like, oh, "What's going on?" And she's not looking at her phone. She's like, she's watching it, and like, you know what I mean? Like you
It
can't look
catches
away.
it catches, yeah, it's like I don't know what it is. And I was gonna make a point that I made during Superbad, and then I realized there's a common denominator between the two, which is Michael Cera. But like the dialogue in this movie and the dialogue in Superbad, for some reason, it's something that you just end up listening to every word because dumb stuff is said at such an interesting pace that like it almost doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like real people talking.
Yeah.
And I think that it might just be Michael Cera is secretly a genius. That it might
It
come
could
down.
be that was okay. So I didn't get into my gripe, and this isn't a gripe, but I'm just wondering how different this movie would have been if it wasn't Michael Cera. Like, do you
Yes,
feel like Michael Cera had to be the one here, or did he elevate the movie, or like I Michael Cera is such an interesting actor, where
he
when
is.
he's in a movie, it's like I don't know, I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to say something weird and very contradictory to itself. It
Okay,
shouldn't have been Michael Cera, based on everything he had done up until this point. It should not have been Michael Cera, especially if you read the source material, because Scott's like this womanizer, like this aloof womanizer who's dumb but always gets into fights, who's still kind of cool at the same time. None of that screams Michael Cera,
no, not
but
even close.
he elevated himself to fit the role. And
Right.
I
Well,
feel like
also the
he did a
writing
good
kind of
job.
moved it a little bit. I don't know. Again, I don't know the source material, but it's easy to not look cool when you are dating a 17-year-old and you're 22, right? Like that is
Yes.
like sure you're womanizing, but you're like holding hands and playing like a freaking
Yes.
DDR, right? It's or whatever they were playing. I don't know what game that was, but that wasn't a very amazing relationship for you to be like, oh, look at him. He
No.
really. I mean, it does suck that he did that. And we obviously, you've watched the movie at this point.
Yeah.
Technically, he cheated, but like I don't know.
And that's
I'm not
all.
justifying that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that was hardly a relationship. I mean, it was for knives, but I don't know. He was just not into that,
That
like
and
ever.
that is a center point of like that all happens in the books. So
Okay.
that all is stuff, but the womanizing goes deeper. Like they briefly brush on him and Kim having a past where that was a long thing. They briefly brush on him for some reason dating the hottest musician in the universe of this book. You
Yeah.
wonder how that happened. That's dug into a little deeper. So Scott's pulling women for some reason, and then you see Michael Cera, and you're like, is this believable? It's just
Yeah. He's got a very interesting demeanor, and the fight scenes and everything. It looks weird when Michael Cera does this stuff,
yes,
but again,
it does.
it's the way it's shot and the way your disbelief can be suspended because while it is live action, it doesn't feel like a you know what I mean? Like it does a little
Yeah,
bit of both. It bounces back, so you could be like, it's kind of cartoony, where you could be like, okay, Michael Cera might be able to do this in this world, so
yeah.
I'll allow it here. But we mentioned Michael Cera. Let's just get down the list, man. The cast. What's up?
I'm interrupting you. I want you to name me at least 5 superheroes in this movie.
5 superheroes.
5 superheroes from other stuff that are in this movie. It could be a duplicate actor.
What's I'm saying? I can only really think of. I mean, obviously you have Chris Evans in there,
All right,
who
who's he?
he's obviously Captain America.
Yes.
Uh, why am I thinking of Human Torch?
Boom, that's 2. All right,
That's
keep
two.
going.
Okay, and then Brandon Routh
Yeah.
is Superman,
Yes.
and he's also is it Atomic something? No, what's his name?
He's the Atom. He's the
The
Atom.
Atom. Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
Atom. Is he a third though? I don't know. If he's a third.
I don't think he's a third. He
I
might
don't
be.
know.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's a third though.
I don't know. I feel like he was all over the place there. But and then we also have Brie Larson.
Yep.
Brie Larson is Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's 5 right there. And there's
I don't know who else
still
is left. That's it. That's what you're saying. I don't know who else is left. I
so
don't. Did Aaron
the
Kendrick play a superhero at some point? I don't know. I
no,
must have
no,
missed
no.
that.
So there's one that's hard. In another movie that I personally don't think was amazing, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead was the Huntress in Birds of Prey.
Oh yes, I remember
And
that.
you will not count this as a superhero, but she was also in the movie Sky High, another very underrated.
Technically a
Uh,
superhero though, right? I mean
yeah,
that
yeah.
counts. That counts.
She
It's
was
not name
Gwen.
brand, but it's there.
And my favorite cameo of cameos, Thomas Jane was the Punisher.
Okay, well, yeah, for sure. No, that
He
was a good
was
one back in the day. Let's get down this list real quick and just name some things that
yes.
pop. Obviously, Michael Cera's there. Kieran Culkin. We just did a
He
movie.
he
Yeah, we
snuck up. He just snuck up. He is tied with Kirsten Dunst for 3 movies.
yeah. He was. I don't know. Wait, what was? I don't know what the third one was. We did two Home Alones,
He
Home
snuck up
Alones, and
there.
then this one.
Yeah.
No, you're right. He's
He's a dark
technically
horse.
in.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick, randomly, the sister in this film.
Yeah.
She obviously has a big career, and Aubrey
Yeah.
Plaza. I don't know.
I'd say
Parks and Rec
Plaza.
fame, but yeah, she's doing a lot now. I've not seen a lot of her newer stuff. She's in that. I don't remember that show that's out right now that everybody's talking about, but I think it's on HBO. I don't know, but she's doing a lot of big stuff right now. Mary Elizabeth Winstead has done a lot of other things, like you said. She was in Birds of Prey, but I've seen her in a lot of other stuff as well.
Hmm.
Jason Schwartzman is somebody that I look at him and I'm like, I swear to God, I've seen this guy in more
In
stuff.
so
And then
many
I
things. Yeah.
and then I click on it and I'm like, I don't know where else I watch this man. I feel like I've seen him
Mhm.
doing other things. I don't know.
He's around. He's around a lot.
Yeah. Where else? I'm going down this list. I don't know why they're not really. Oh, so obviously Chris Evans is in there. Stop me if I'm skipping over other people here. Brie Larson's in here. Brandon Routh is somebody that at the time was big because he was doing the Superman stuff, and then
Mhm.
he wasn't doing the Superman stuff. There was a lot of weird stuff going on there. But 2010, that's right around I mean, that's in the peak of the MCU early at the beginning of the MCU, Chris Evans
Yeah.
and Captain America. That whole thing kind of kicked off at that exact time. So these kind of coincided. I don't know that it helped the movie that much at the time. I don't
No.
even know that he was super marketed in this movie. He was it technically is a cameo, but he's a
He
character.
he wasn't even, I can't remember him because I remember marketing for this movie. It was like a surprise. It was
Okay.
like you didn't know it was gonna happen, like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder sort of deal.
Okay, well, don't spoil Tropic Thunder because I do want to get to that movie a little bit down the line. It might happen in
I'm just
2023, but that's on my list. All right, that movie's
okay. Sorry,
absurd. We'll get into that one for sure. But
it was that
yeah,
deal.
anybody else in this movie that pops out that is worth
Not
mentioning? I know that there's a
not
lot. There is a lot
not
though.
for being famous, but like I just know like Chris Webber, I think his name's, or Mark Webber. Steven Stills, he was in Snow Day, and I just loved that movie growing up.
Snow
So
Day, I remember that one. That's I remember that one. That was a funny
like
one.
he was in that, and that's really it for me.
All right. Real quick, 2010. I had not met my wife by then,
Mhm.
and I had a pretty big crush on somebody in this movie. One of these actresses, and if you, I'll just you can venture a guess. I'll give you one guess. That's it. That's all you get.
I'm gonna guess Brie Larson.
No. It was Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't know
It
why at the
was
time.
real.
It wasn't just her in this movie, but I saw her in some other stuff and I was like, I don't know why. I'm so fascinated. She's just a fascinating person and I don't know why I was like
I've
captivated at the time. I was like, this is amazing. She's beautiful.
So I've watched this movie, and I've watched another movie and just a few other things similar to like the girl who doesn't want attention but still ends up the love interest. How I don't think I could find myself chasing after Ramona because of how disinterested she seemed. Like
That's true.
never until like maybe 75, even when they start dating, it still seems begrudging to her. She was like, "Oh, well, I guess we're dating now." And it's like, could you like
But
seem
it is nice to
interested?
hear that though. Like that is validation. Like a
It
lot of
is
people,
valid.
especially I mean, early days of dating, it's like, are we is this a thing? Like, and you're afraid to ask. You're like, you're just going on dates, and you're like, I don't know if we're like exclusive or not. But she was pretty
Yeah.
upfront. Like, I'm okay with that.
She said it, but she never seemed like she liked Scott. There were glimpses, like there
It's
were
Michael
moments where
Cera.
she was
I'm just kidding. No.
there's like moments where she smiles and she does this, but then there's times where her dialogue, and she did a great job playing Ramona because that's like
Yeah.
how Ramona was supposed to be, and it wasn't her being a bad actress whatsoever, but like it I was just like, are you actually interested,
Right.
is was what my
That's
thought
fair.
was.
And that's I guess that's part of the allure, right? It's like there's some mystery there. Like, what is that? Like,
Yes,
I don't know. I don't know what that to me that at the time I was like,
you're
I think I love
you're
her.
feeling that you liked it,
I
yeah.
was like, I think I love her. I don't know what's going on. Like this, it was crazy. Again, that was a time of my life I was literally throwing the L word down to anybody. Like I didn't know what was going on. Like
Lesbians.
yeah, oh yeah, which yeah, no love. But yeah, at the in the movie, he's like, damn it, I said lesbians. Like it's like
I gotta say, like, this is one of my most quoted movies. Like, between the, you have to say the L word lesbian, the other L word lesbians. Like,
yeah,
me and my wife quote that. Bread makes you fat. We quote that all the time.
yeah, that's funny.
It's just like we quote the heck out of this movie. It's really good.
No,
I do
100%. It's definitely good.
I do have a question for you. So in this movie, one of the earlier times Scott meets Ramona, he throws a package into a garbage can. Can you guess how many takes that took for them to get there?
Do
Because
you have the number? I mean, I don't know.
yes,
Like
I do, I do have the number. They did that scene. They didn't like CGI that or edit it.
yeah,
They made him do that until he threw a package over his shoulder into a garbage can. He did it a
that's
number of
awesome.
times.
No,
Can
that's
you
awesome. I'd say 37.
33?
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. I just was picking a number, but no, that's about right. I feel like that'd be pretty easy to get in like a few tries. It wasn't really that far, right? It was just like a
Yeah,
heavy book. It looked like it was like and he just kind of threw it over the shoulder.
yeah.
And it's such a short shot, like to dedicate that many
A lot
takes.
of takes.
That's
Yeah, 33.
that kudos to yeah, the team there was patient and I respect that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was
One
good.
thing that I before we get into the draft, because again, we get into the draft here probably a little bit, and then you are going to pick first. You pick this movie. You'll have first pick, and I'm actually genuinely intrigued where you're gonna go. I didn't rank them either, so this is gonna
I
be a
didn't rank them
mess.
either.
It's gonna be a mess.
I'm staring at this and I'm like, God, I don't know where I want
Oh.
to start.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have first in this movie. But again, there's some cool stuff, and obviously stuff that's on the screen for quite a bit. But we'll figure out that's how that's working out. But again, I'm gonna go back to Michael Cera because it's not just him; it's Scott Pilgrim in general. Because you don't get a lot of background other than just looking at him and the way he acts around his friends, and he just
Mhm.
seems like a pretty. I don't know. He's not a very stout, strong looking man. How's he
No,
learn? How does he fight? How is he fighting like this
you know,
immediately? Matthew
it's
Patel shows up and he's just kicking ass right away. And how's he doing that?
the funny thing is, even in the books, the only background they really give you is that Scott fights a lot. Like Scott literally would just be in school and he would just be in fights. When he was dating Kim, he'd get into fights. Like he just always could fight,
Okay.
and that
Well,
was it. That's it. They don't say he learned from whatever. It was just Scott gets into fights. He saved girlfriends from bullies, and he just
yeah.
fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just can't again, I can't see Michael Cera doing that. And
No.
also like
No.
this is again like your disbelief is suspended because it looks so animated and it's way over the top. But it does seem kind of crazy that he's doing like roundhouse kicks out of
Yes.
nowhere. And I'm like, this is where did he get this? Like this
He
is
fought
crazy.
like 7 guys when he was fighting Chris Evans. Like,
Yeah.
why can he do this? It doesn't make sense.
But
Yeah.
again, yeah, I mean, it's a freaking movie, and people just put it, especially in a movie theater. If you're not familiar with the graphic novels, which I wasn't, I was just like, oh, comic books, yeah, you could do that, sure.
Yeah.
I don't, I just no one questions it, so that just kind of caught me off guard that he was like, he didn't even really ever get like beat up. Like he
Yeah.
got hit a few times, like he got pushed through a couple walls. Like obviously, I think Brandon Ralph
Uh
did a number on him,
he
but
he messed him up. Todd did some damage. Like he should
yeah,
not have won that fight. He
no,
should-
no, but that's the way he won that one though was
and
awesome.
that's what I like. So something they could have done better in this movie was not every fight in the book was literally a fight. Like it was a competition sometimes.
Okay,
So
yeah.
like him and Todd, legitimately, one of their fights competitions is they go into like a version of Walmart, and they just have to go in and come out without getting distracted and like dying. But it's like this
What?
place where you're looking around and they're like, oh my god, there's this is on sale and this and this, and they just like get distracted and hypnotized by all these items, and they have to make it back out alive. And that was like their competition, and that was it.
Yeah, that's interesting. That would have been an
It's
interesting thing to depict in a movie. I don't know how that would have worked out,
That's
but
why
like,
they didn't do
yeah, no,
it.
Todd's character, like, obviously the whole vegan thing, it was hilarious. But the line where he's like, he punched her highlights out of her hair, like he says that twice, and I'm like, wait, why is this so funny? It was so dramatic. But yeah,
Yes.
I think he was definitely that whole like I don't know, he definitely wasn't winning that fight. It was very clear that he was losing.
Yeah.
But he hit him with the vegan loophole and vegan police out of nowhere. I
Yes.
almost want like a spin-off of that. Like I want a spin-off of
Ye
like
That would
Vegan
be
Police,
amazing.
the movie, and where they're just going around and like a checklist of people. It's like, I don't know. You had a little half and half here.
Yep.
But yeah, they
We
ripped his
need
powers away. That's funny.
a background in the vegan school. Like the vegan academy should be its own thing.
Yes, I know those actors in that as well. They're also recognizable. I saw them in movies a bunch of times. I can't name them, but they're
Well,
definitely.
Thomas Jane is
Oh,
the
that
one
was
on the
Thomas Jane,
left.
the main one.
Yeah. Yeah, the main
I
one was
didn't even
Thomas Jane.
recognize him. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And the other guy
That's
I've definitely seen before, but I don't know his name though.
I
That's
don't know his name either. That's unfortunate, but he's been in a lot of other stuff too.
all right. I'm ready to get into the draft. I don't have anything else to say about this movie outside of the props that we're going to be picking and their impact on the film. So if you're ready, we can get
Let's
into
go.
it.
Let's
All right.
go.
Let me reach all the way over here and hit this button. I just pulled something in my arm.
You should
All right.
really bring that closer.
No, I really should. You picked this movie. We have a new setup, by the way. At least I do. Tyler, you're going to be moving soon, so your setup's gonna shift a smidge.
Yes,
But
just
we'll
a
see.
smidge.
We'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for you to get in your new place. But no, I got a new camera now. I got like the holidays did me well. We saved up a bunch of gift cards, and now I got a camera that makes me look. I don't know. You can see my
Beautiful.
pores. Thank
Beautiful.
you. I appreciate it. I didn't want to
Yeah.
say it You said
I
it,
got
and
you.
now
I got
I
you.
feel now I feel like I feel a lot better that you said it and it wasn't me.
You're
And I also
welcome.
look a lot better now that you said it, because I was gonna look like a jerk saying I look cute. But I do look cute. You can check us out on our YouTube channel, the Movie Propcast, and if you're maybe seeing some social media clips on our Instagram and our TikTok as well, at Movie Propcast, you can follow us there. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna start putting more content outside of. I can't let this camera go to waste. So we're gonna put out some more content outside of just the podcast up on our YouTube channel this year. We're gonna get the ball rolling. It's draft time. I don't know why I said all this right now. I waited to the middle of the podcast in the draft.
I was just gonna let
Here
it
it
go.
is.
The thought did actually cross my mind. I was like,
Like,
"This is a
why is he
weird
doing this
ad
right now?
placement. That's
This
a
is
weird
weird.
ad
Yeah.
placement."
Well, we got them right now. Everyone's curious about what your first pick is, and this is when you cram the ads in. All right, this is it.
Yeah.
Right before your first pick in the Scott Pilgrim versus the World draft. There's all that information. Please rewind it a couple times and listen to it over again. Follow that simple direction, and we will love
So
you forever.
early on, you mentioned that there wasn't a whole lot. I actually think there was a lot. It's just hard to decide what's worthy.
Yeah.
Um, but just me being who I am, my first pick is going to be Scott's katana at the end. So Scott has two katanas here into the power of love and the power of self-respect,
Yeah,
something like that.
self-respect. It was
Yes.
self-respect.
So Scott gets two katanas, and I looked them up. They have two versions of them actually. They have a katana where it's just the hilt and maybe like 2 inches of dagger that they would
And then
use
a
during
green
the sword
screen?
fights.
Or just
They
green?
would. It wasn't green. It would literally stop like 2 inches above the hilt of dagger,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
then so like the part when it comes out of his chest, how you
Oh,
see a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah.
of blade. So him and Gideon's sword actually had a little bit of that too, and they just CGI'd the rest. But then they also had a full katana too for like wide shots and stuff like that. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go. When you look at it, it has like Scott's initials on it. It has like SP.
Hmm.
The hand guard has some cool stuff on it. So that's what my first pick is gonna be.
That's a pretty good first pick. Obviously very impactful at the end of the movie whenever he's just slaying people. And they
A
all
lot.
turn into coins, which I thought was a nice
Yes.
touch. I really like that. Yeah, man, I don't know where I'm going here. Like I'm already like sweating it a little bit because now I'm like, you just picked that, so I'm like, where do I go? Like I don't know where you're gonna come back. Like, are you gonna steal something from me? Huh. I got to take something from Scott. You just took something from Scott. I got to take another
I
Scott
did.
thing.
All right,
I
take a
can't
Scott
not get
then.
it. If you double Scott me, I think I'm done. So I think I'm gonna take
Let's go.
Scott's bass guitar.
That was tied for first pick with me.
I think I got to take
That's a good
that.
one. That's
I don't know what it is. I
discuss.
don't know what it is, but it's like that red. It's got that like that little like it sticks out a little farther on the top. I'm not a guitar guy, so everything I'm saying right now, I don't even want to pretend that I know what that was. It just looks cool. It's a guitar, and the main character was thwapping it. So
Something
yeah,
I didn't say at the top, the music in this, it might not be everyone's genre or everyone's thing, but this is a movie where I actually listen to the soundtrack to a lot. There's like
yeah.
four solid hits.
There's some
And
good ones
just
in there.
yeah, there's like four solid good songs in here. And then the bass battle between Todd and Scott is just something I could just listen to when I'm just bored. Like they did a good job with the music in this.
Todd was winning that. He was winning
Oh,
it immediately.
100%.
It was
Scott
that was like a yeah. What did it? Yeah, right. It was the whole time. He never gave that up. But
no.
he was trying
So
though. Scott was trying.
he did try,
Uh,
but Todd was just better.
so yeah. So okay. So we both have something from Scott now. I'm comfortable
Yes.
now, and now I'm ready to go completely off the rails. But luckily, it's your pick right now. So let's see. Let's see where you go. Because
Um
now I feel like it's weird. Like there's some weird stuff. I know one thing for sure I'm walking away with, but I just don't know if you're that guy. I don't think you're that guy.
the thing is, this movie had a lot of good stuff, but you made such a fuss in The Grinch about not liking to take single sheets of paper.
Hmm.
And there's like four in this
There's a lot of
movie.
paper.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of paper in this movie. So if you leave with any one of those, I'm calling you out on it right
Okay,
away.
that's fair. That's fair.
Number two pick for me. I think I want the Clash of Demon Head cardboard cutout.
You son of a bee. All right. I thought for sure I could wait on that one. I was like, you're not the cardboard cutout guy. But no,
I
that one was awesome though.
Yes, you got Envy
That's
up there, Todd, you got their drummer in the back.
yeah, I don't
So
know.
I
That
want
didn't really they didn't really have a role in this movie, I feel like. But it was obviously it's Brandon
no.
Routh and Brie Larson in a
Yes.
cardboard cutout. That's a W. That's awesome.
Yes.
I'm mad
I
about
om-
that one.
I actually almost took, well, I'll let you go and I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you at
Yeah,
the end.
okay. Clash at Demon Head cardboard cutout. Mm. As soon as I saw that, I was like, that's up there. That was top 3 for me. All right, I'll cross that out. So let me go. Now that I feel like something's going to be available at the end there, let me go. I want to take Gideon's cane sword. I
I
want
didn't want to
that.
go double sword.
I
That
didn't think you did, but it looks cool because it's legit a cane, and he like, what do they call it? Unsheaths. What is it? What is it?
unsheaths, yeah.
Yeah, he literally pulls it out, and it actually. I think I looked at it closely because I rewound it.
Mhm.
When it hits his shoulder, it very clearly like bounces. Like you could tell it's like a
Yeah.
rubber, like a foam.
Did
It's not a
you
real sword, but
did you look up the amount of detail in that? So I could send it to you later, or we could post pictures of it. I looked up. There's a group who made like the weapons for this movie. Gideon's sword has even more detail than Scott's. Like on the bottom, it has the skull because it's the cane,
yeah,
and where he holds it, it says G-Man on it. And his handguard makes like, do you remember his triangle with the three G's in it? That his like logo.
yeah,
His
yeah, yeah.
handguard is that, and the sword comes out. It's his sword is actually a very good piece of work.
So
Like that's
they didn't have to go that hard on it because in the movie you don't see a lot of it, especially how
they went
fast it's
hard.
moving. But
Yeah,
they took their job seriously, and I respect that. That's the way to do
yeah.
it. But I definitely wanted to get one of those. Gideon is an interesting character. Obviously, you don't see him till like the third act of the movie, but he's actually he's not even really mentioned. Oh no, she meant.
He
I
is.
think it
He's
is
more.
mentioned. He is
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
throughout the movie. You're right. You're right. And
yeah.
then he comes up at the end, and then yeah, that the whole scene at the end where it's the
They
big
drop
boss battle.
breadcrumbs.
Uh I don't want to talk. I guess I can talk about it now because it is at that same time where he's using that battle at the end where I don't know how I felt about it. Right, where
Really?
he obviously dies. And he gets that one up and he comes back. He gets a second life and does everything. I love that he had to go through and do everything over again, like the password at the door and go all the way through and
Yeah.
basically it wasn't just an instant respawn at the spot. So he went back and had to go through all that again. I don't know if I like the resolution with Knives and Ramona at the
Do
end
you
there.
do you mean
Like
after the fight when they're standing outside, or do you mean like
I mean like in the moment, like
yeah?
was that way even better? Like I don't know how that was better.
It was
Where he's
him
just like, yeah,
coming.
I cheated. Like he doesn't even like explain. Like I don't know. Maybe I would. It obviously it happened, and but the fact that Knives is like everyone's just chill with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you think about who Scott was leading up to that moment, it's like him finally taking responsibility, and I guess that was good enough. I don't know. I'm not saying I side with you. Him just being like, "Hey guys, I cheated on both of you. Listen, I'm sorry," which
We
he does
cool? Like
say.
we cool?
But
All right. Yeah.
like I agree with you, but like it was a moment.
Yeah.
So
I think it would have
I
made
do
more
agree with you
sense.
though.
Yeah, if there was a little more clarification of the like timeline where they could be like, oh, okay,
And
that's
that's the
still
thing
weird,
too,
but like,
like the timeline wasn't, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as like him saying I cheated on you makes it sound
right,
like he cheated on, like it really was just one night he kissed Ramona and then broke up with Knives like 2 days later.
right. And as soon as he saw her, he very clearly was like dejected and didn't want anything to do with the other relationship. I just
Yeah.
thought there is an immaturity there where he's like, it's hard to break up with somebody, right? It's like I don't, it's you don't want to do it, but at the end of the day, he's in high school, bro. Like that should be easy. That you should,
Yeah, it
it's
didn't ever
like, yeah,
started. It
yeah.
shouldn't have ever started. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's I know that's really weird. But anyway, no, I thought that was probably the one like thing at the end where I was like, that seems a little weird, a little rushed. But obviously, again, it's what do you do in that situation? He's got the whole thing's supposed to be lead up to this big fight. So it ended. I thought the way it ended was cool.
Yes.
It just I don't know. It was
You didn't
that
see
particular moment
the
was
you
different.
didn't see the what do they call it? The alternate ending, did you?
Was there an alternate ending?
Yeah, there is.
I did not see an alternate ending. No.
There's in so in the main ending he goes through the door with Ramona, right?
Yes.
In the
Don't tell
alternate
me. Are you going
ending,
to tell me? You're going to spoil the alternate ending?
Oh, go watch it.
Now I want to see it, and now
Yeah.
I think everybody who's now
Okay.
hears this,
Yeah.
I want to go see it. All right, don't
Okay.
spoil it. But you can give me like a quick what are your thoughts on it, real quick? Like, is it a better ending?
I don't know. It's like a
Oh,
lateral. It's like a
okay.
yeah.
Oh, then I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
like
not
it.
sure.
I don't
I'm
like
not
it.
sure.
I'm not. I don't like it. I feel like if you, I don't know. I can already tell I don't like it. So I'm gonna go with Gideon's cane sword, and we have now each one more pick out of the remaining props in this film. So this is it. This is your last pick. You currently are sitting
There's
with Scott's katana
yeah.
and the Clash at Demon Head cardboard cutout.
There's actually a lot of good stuff in this movie now that I'm looking at it. There's like three other things I could take. Um but I just spoke so highly of the music, and
Mm.
I think I want to go with Kim's drum set with the Sex Bombs logo on it.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm not a drum
I
set
think
guy, but no,
I'm not
that's cool for you.
I think I want to can we push this to 4?
If you want to, sure. I mean, I can pull something out of my butt. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, okay. Let's
All
push
right.
this to 4.
You greedy son of a bee. But it's
I
your
am.
movie.
There's
Yeah,
there's
it's your
one more
movie. You
thing.
make
There's
the
one
call.
more
That's
thing.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right. So you
I
go
hope
with
I
your
steal
third.
it from you right here, but I don't know if I will. Now, I just the fact that you have something in mind, and I'm just sitting here, like pull. I feel like I'm pulling a pull tab at like a deli, and I'm just like reading it. That's where I'm at right now. Okay, so you picked the drum set. I think. Damn. See now that we're going to 4, I can do this and feel happy about it. So I'm gonna take Ramona's skates.
That's a
I don't.
good pick.
I'm
That's a
taking her skates because
surprising.
I
That's a
wanted her.
good.
Well, I don't want to say anything else. I'm not gonna take anything else off Ramona, but she had something else that I didn't think she wore a majority of the movie, but I think she might have been wearing it at the same time. I'm going with the
So
skates though.
keep going. Keep
What?
going.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna go with the
I.
skates because for whatever reason, I don't know. There was a moment in the movie
Mm-hmm.
where she comes out and she gives. It was the night after they slept together. They didn't actually like do anything, but they slept in the same bed. But they're separating. She gives him her number. Why is the snow melting? What is that? I don't know
It's
what was
clear.
going on there.
It's clearing a path for her. It's like this movie borders way too much between being a real life movie and a comic book movie at the same time that you forget sometimes it's supposed to be a comic book movie. That's one of those
Yeah,
things that it was just silly, and it was just like a she just like she doesn't have powers, but it's just one of those things like her being able to travel through a subspace highway. I
that's
don't
fair.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just it was such a like that. I feel like there was nobody even like said anything about it. It just happened, and you're like, why is this happening? It was really weird for me, but it
You
elevated the
mentioned
skates though. So that's
yes.
it. Yeah.
You mentioned something. It wouldn't happen to be something like these, would it?
Yes. Wait, what are those? Wait, those aren't like the same goggles. Like,
They're not the same goggles, but I saw her in the movie and I was like, I have those, or at least something like those. These
yeah,
are
they look
uh
very similar.
these are like holographic goggles. These will actually make you vomit. So you put these on and they're
Oh
they're
boy.
like kaleidoscope goggles on the inside, but very much similar design to Ramona and her goggles.
Let me borrow those,
So
bro. I want to try. I want to try to run in a straight line as fast as I can. Like,
it'll be trouble. It'll be trouble. You see like 12 of everything with these on.
that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking Ramona's skates, and now I need to know what you couldn't resist. You couldn't leave off the board. I don't know.
So we like to talk about things that you see and you're like, "Oh, I know what movie that's from." And I can't remember if this item actually made it into the film, but I know the item exists because it's on display with a lot of other Scott Pilgrim uh I almost said paraphernalia. What the hell?
I mean, it is
Uh
paraphernalia. Yeah.
with other Scott Pilgrim items. There are there's a strand of photo booth photos of Scott and Envy Adams.
Hmm.
I can't remember if it made the movie or not, and that would disqualify it.
I don't
Um,
know.
but
Maybe they like did a macro of it. Like it was like
it
whenever they were
might have
talking
been
about her
somewhere.
in the past, and like it popped up on the
Yeah,
side of the screen or something.
but I know it exists because I was going through movie props for this, and they sold like Scott's guitar. They have the drawing of Ramona. They have Ramona's outfit, and then they
The
have a
drawing of
photo booth.
Ramona that's like horrible. You talking about the one that's like a
So great.
scribble?
Yes, yes.
He's like,
Do you
you know
know
what
this
this is?
girl?
Yeah, Ramona Flowers. And there was like, yeah, like no one was fast, like no one was blown away that was immediately. He looked at that and was like, Ramona Flowers, that's the one.
But you know when you go on a date and you go in the picture booth and you get like those 4 photographs,
Yeah,
like they
yeah. Who
have that
hasn't done that?
of Michael Cera and Brie Larson as Natalie and Scott Pilgrim.
Okay, and that's what you want. You
That's
want
what I
that?
want. I want that.
Okay, and you wanted to push to a fourth for that?
I mean, my other pick, if that gets disqualified, because I
No,
can't,
it's not disqualified. I mean, if it's a
I
thing,
I
yeah.
genuinely don't remember if it's in the movie, and I'll gladly let it get disqualified. But that's what I want. Yes. Jeez, you
Okay.
sound disappointed.
I'm not
I don't think you
disappointed.
understand.
I'm just not. I don't know. I'm just I thought I don't
Oh
know.
wow. Get
I
get
just
your fourth pick, and then we'll talk
okay.
after.
So there's two things left that I'm pretty okay with.
Yeah,
You got something with Clash at Demon Head. I feel like I also want something. I want a
yeah,
part of that, right? I feel like that's pretty good. But I also don't want to leave something off the table that might be cooler.
yeah. Okay.
I think I'm gonna take Lucas Lee's skateboard.
I thought
I
about
think
it.
I want that. It's got his logo,
That's
right? His little skateboard
yes.
logo on it.
I thought about that. That's good.
I think I
Good.
need that. Just the
Take it. Take
stupidity of
it.
that character and the way he goes out just on a
It's
grind rail going like 500 miles an hour.
yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
That's straight out of the comic book too. Like that's how he dies, which is hilarious. Um, it was very hard for me not to take an outfit. Scott wore like 6 outfits in this movie, and
Like
something
graphic
Edgar,
tees.
yeah, graphic tees. Edgar Wright was really good about like hinting at X's. He has like Scott has the X-Men patch on one of his jackets. It's sort of like a breadcrumb for him being an X in the future. His last outfit was just something I like because he had the SP, the Scott Pilgrim with the heart. That's like something that was out of the comic book also. What else did I like? Yeah, I'm just going
His
down
hat that
my
he kept
alternate
putting on
mentions.
ever to get self-conscious
That's
about his hair. That should have been up there because that was like a funny little bit that they kept doing every time.
yes.
It's like your hair's looking a little scraggly.
Two of
What do
his
you mean?
hats
Yeah.
are actually like props that are for sale. He had like a longer like beanie cap that I know I saw on an auction website. But other things I liked, the Clash of Demon had actually had a CD, an
Yeah.
album.
That's what I was
That's
gonna go for.
but
But I was like, I wanted a skateboard.
they had 2 album covers. They had the pink one and then there was a black one. I don't
Oh,
know
I
if
don't know.
you
I
caught
just saw
that.
the one at the beginning where they're thumbing
The
through and
pink
like
one?
Knives has it and he throws it and then they do a close
Yes,
up of it. That was the one I was thinking of when I wrote it down right when I saw that.
I did too. The Ramona drawing was on my list.
That's so dumb, but
Something
it's awesome.
I kind of want that too, but you don't like sheets of paper, so I knew it wasn't going to go. The list of the 7 X's when she was like, "What, you want me to laminate it too?" and she actually gives him a laminated one
Yeah.
after they fight.
Mm-hmm.
Uh
That's not bad. And
Knives blades at the end of the movie. I'm
those are
surprised
pretty
you
cool.
didn't
Those are cool. Those are
you didn't
cool.
care about those at all.
Yeah, I'm not knives. Get out of my way, man. You're in the way of the
Oh,
movie. Come on.
oh man.
Did I just
Oh
hurt you there or
man.
something? Come on.
Well, it's because they don't do her justice. In the books, Knives' dad is like a big part of the movie. He stalks Scott for like a whole book.
Oh,
Knives' dad is like an assassin and he tries to kill Scott for like an
oh,
entire book. It's
that's kind of
kind of
cool.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
And then I've said Scott's final outfit. You have Gideon's sword. And Ramona's hammer was surprisingly bland. Like there was no logo on it. It was just like
Yeah.
a giant piece of
She
stone,
just
and that was
pulls
it.
it out of her bag, and that's it. They were all just cool with that.
Yeah.
That just can fit in there magically. But yeah, I mean, I guess I can't complain about this. It's whatever this world is. There's some
Yeah.
different kind of stuff going on there. But the Ninja Arcade game was a real possibility.
The people who made Scott's sword and Gideon's sword made that arcade game.
Awesome. That's pretty
So
cool.
that's a real prop. They like took the time to make that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. See, I don't know. I that was the first thing I wrote down early in the movie, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then at the end, obviously, they do that little combo thing because they played the game together, so they did tie it back into that. So that was something. And then I don't understand what year it was, but Wallace's computer. What was going on there, dude?
He
Like,
had like a 95 Windows computer for some reason.
yeah,
Is,
I don't know. But they kept
is
making references to Canada, and I'm like, is this what it's like in Canada? Like, what,
I
what's
do
going on over there?
I do have 2 or 3 friends who are Canadian, and I make a joke with them that Canada is a decade behind on everything. So I'm like, yeah, next year you guys will get like rap music, and it's gonna be really good when you guys get it.
Oh my god.
It's
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the computer, and I thought that's stupid. It did like the "You've Got Mail" thing, and I'm like, it's
yes.
2010. Like, what? We still doing that? And then the last thing I did, it was another Lucas Lee thing, but it was the movie ads that
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
Wallace had him all in his apartment because he's like obsessed with him. But like, that was again piece of paper you would have crucified me for, but
Yep.
there were so many of them, and it was all his movie ads. I think they were pretty funny looking though. I think that the fact that somebody went through and took the time to make all those
Hmm.
is pretty cool. So yeah, this is again another movie that I always have to defend
Not
when it's
against me.
not
Not
against
against
you.
me.
So I'm like weird. It's I'm not used to having another supporter, and obviously if you've listened this far into the podcast, you are also a Scott Pilgrimiac, which is I don't think a real thing. Uh,
Don't ever say that again.
a Pilgrimiac.
No, you said
No,
it again.
I know. I'm trying to make it a thing. If I say Pilgrimiac more than
Okay, what I want you to do for I'm getting off that as fast as I can. What
yeah,
I
okay,
want
that's
you to
fine.
do with Kristen is sit her down, and if she knows the amount of effort that went into making this movie, like there's a thing about Edgar Wright and his technique going into this movie that made me appreciate it
His
more.
technique, yeah.
If you sit her down with that, maybe she'll like it better because this is a great movie.
She's no. I don't think she's a person that's gonna like respect good film etiquette and like I don't know
Oh,
unique film takes. I don't think she's that person, but I do think she does like deep down like she knows
it's
it's a good
funny.
movie, but it
Yeah.
bothers her that I like it. I don't know why. I don't know what. It's one of those things where she drew her line in the sand before she watched it, and now
Hmm.
when she's watching it, she's like I can't look away, and I'm mad about it. Like
Yeah.
it's like I don't know what it is. It's a very strange situation, but again, I love this movie. You love this movie. This is how we're starting 2023 off, and it's gonna only get weirder. Valentine's Day's coming up. That's gonna be something special. I don't know what we're
Is
doing
it?
for. I don't know. You tell me. I mean, you're the one picking for that, so I'm gonna pick the next episode is gonna come out here, and then you'll be the Valentine's Day guy
Did
because I
I
picked
pick
last
the
year.
Notebook or did you
Oh,
pick the
I picked it.
Notebook?
I picked Notebook last year, which again, we say this every time, but if you haven't listened to that podcast,
So good.
you got to go back. The Notebook was a banger, and we had a lot of fun with it. But I think I have an idea of where you're going this year, but I'm a little scared. I don't know.
There's almost no other Valentine's worthy movies that we didn't think the
We just
Notebook
need
was going to be
love.
prop heavy either. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
We just
You're
need
right.
love. All right, that's all we need in this
I'm just going to
world.
go watch love movies now. I'll be back in a month.
Okay, well, don't Google love movies though, because
Oh wait,
you're
I was typing that like
no,
right
so you're
now.
gonna get different stuff, and I don't think we can make podcasts on that. There's only like
I'm
those
risking it.
props. I don't know, man. I don't
I'm
know.
willing to risk it all.
That's too far. But no, we appreciate you guys listening this far into and listen to Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That the fact that you again, I keep saying this. If they make it to the end of the podcast, they love the movie, or at least they're genuinely curious about the movie, which is cool.
Or they
So
just love us.
I'm not willing to say that, but they do though. They 100% do. If
They
you're
do.
listening to this, I'm in your ear holes, and I can't you can't get me out.
Oh my
I
god.
guess, or you just could turn it off, which you probably have already done.
Done.
So, all right,
It's
let's just get out of here now, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. And again, stay tuned for the Day of Love, which I keep hyping it up, but I'm just as curious as you guys are about
please
what movie we're gonna
please
do because he
please stop
hasn't
hyping it.
hype it up. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, I'm gonna fail.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you. Bye.